430.
I love this target.
All right. I am going to give you your come up.
Nice.
I think we're going to end up having to tune your profile a little bit.
Okay.
Give me 3.1. All right, G, I'm going to bring you back at left edge.
Up.
Just inside left edge.
Up.
Send.
I watched that freaking bullet roll in.
Isn't that cool?
That's the coolest thing I've ever seen.
My favorite thing in the world.
Holy shit. That's the first time I've been able to see it out of my own gun. I've seen it on your gun. I've seen it on his gun. Never on my own. I'm in the club now, boys.
Come up 0.5, G. And send another one. Just inside left edge.
Up.
Send. Come up 1 more tenth.
Up.
Send. Beautiful. All right, let's go to 600. All right, straight right of the last target, you'll see a little coyote on the left.
Yep.
Red bullseye. G, give me 4.9. Make it 5.
All right, 5 in the gun.
All right, G, give me 0.4. Give me 0.5, 0.4 left.
Up.
Send.
Oh, beautiful call.
Up.
Send.
Hole in one.
Dude, that popper.
That's freaking cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's freaking cool.
Your dad has dead nuts on that one. All right, very good. Let's move up to 740.
Now
You're
the
cooking
diamond.
with gas, my friend. 7.1, G. We're going up to the diamond next. So that's 743 yards.
This is my favorite target on the range.
All right, so that target is about 1 mil wide. All right, I'm going to do some actual math here. All right, so that's 0.23 for 1 mile per hour. Last one was 0.4. Let me reverse engineer something. G, come in at 0.5 left.
I'm up.
Send.
You haven't even taken the safety off, rookie.
Just over.
Just over. Come back at 0.4 left.
Up.
Send. Impact. Beautiful.
There it is, yeah.
Beautiful. Yeah, that diamond's savage. If your wind call's not like dead nuts on,
Yeah, it hurts.
it'll tuck it. We went right over that top left shoulder. All right, G, we're going over the cars, above the cars.
Yep.
That is,
You talking about the white silhouette with the blue X on it?
you got it.
Got it. The Vector X is cool as shit, too.
It really is. I love the fact that it has AB in it.
Yep.
I love the fact that the menu is super easy to use with that D-pad. Like, it's utterly spectacular. And the fact that it has an awesome rangefinder that goes to 7,000 yards. I know that was like 7 things and not 1, but hey. Give me 7.8, G. Your target is 0.6 wide. I'm going to bring you in 0.5 left.
Up.
Send. Impact.
Beautiful. No.
Dude, that's freaking nasty.
Yeah, turning thumb screws in the cold sucks, too.
Yeah, that. There's a hot pack.
Here's a hot pack. Shut up. That's what that felt like, dude. That's awesome. Would have been like, man, my hands are cold.
Flat.
Hot hands.
Yeah, we're at the top berm. Plate is 0.6 wide.
0.5 left.
Yep.
Up.
Send. Impact.
Wow.
That's my favorite.
Easy button.
Dude, that
So
is
crazy.
insane how easy that is now.
Yeah. So I did all of your spotting off the Vector X.
Wow.
I watched every single one of your shots in. I measured all the widths of your plate, and I pulled your 1 mile per hour wind value. So when I hit the button, I get yardage, come up, 1 mile per hour wind value.
Wow.
So I was just extrapolating what that is. So then I took using this, I have the reticle in it. So I'd measured his plate. That last plate's 0.6. I'm like, okay. So I'd make my call off that. Like,
hello, my friends. This is Gedde with Georgia Firing Line, and I'm joined with Andy today, who's our machinist, our rifle builder, guru of all things awesome and cool. But today we have my Remington 700 bolt gun here in front of us, and we're going to go over a couple of things that you can do to exceptionally improve your quality of life when shooting a bolt gun without spending a whole bunch of money. When I bought the gun, it came in this HS Precision kind of M24-ish style of stock with the adjustable cheek piece and these crappy 4-round magazines that I can't stand. We'll come back to that.
And can't find.
Yeah, God bless. But the barrel was already threaded, so that's one of those things that I didn't have to spend the money on. It also came with a 20 MOA Blackhawk scope base on it, which is nice. So I slapped a Vortex 5-25 Venom on there with a matching set of Vortex rings, and this thing has been a rock star. As far as actually shooting, it shoots very, very well. The problems that I've been running into is that I am a long individual. I'm in tune with my ancestors. I got these long gorilla arms. So this short little stock, while it's nice for hunting and it's nice for hiking around with, this gun isn't for that. This is a range gun that I go out there and shoot long range with, and I still have the capability of carrying it around. It's not that big a deal. So if we add a little bit of weight to it, it's not the end of the world. And then because I'm kind of bougie at this point, I'm a big fan of suppressors. So I went ahead and made sure that this was compatible with the Dead Air Sandman S, because it just ties the whole thing together. It makes it very enjoyable for shooting. Just this weekend at Open Range Day, I got to spend some time on this gun, and I got to spend some time with you, and I got a bunch of our clients out there shooting my gun out at different ranges, and I got the opportunity to call some wind, and it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying learning that and getting into it more. But the uncomfortability from my lanky arms on this short stock was the straw that broke the camel's back. So I came in, I talked to Andy, and I said, hey dude, I want to make this thing better. What should I do?
If you came in with a bare stock, straight off the line gun, my top 3 first things I would say you want to upgrade: your trigger, a trigger you like, a trigger you trust. It's the one you're going to learn to shoot the gun on. That's the first thing you should do overall, like bar none. The second and arguably more important part is this whole thing going on here. A good scope base, I would say from the ground up, is probably the most important part, and then good glass and everything that comes with it. So really, I say this is a whole unit. Good glass, not cheap glass, or not...
You can say it, poor glass.
Poor glass, yes. Let's not buy Chinese optics.
These are made in the Philippines, by the way.
Philippines, Japan.
Totally different.
Yeah, and not saying that those are the worst thing ever, but if you're going to go shoot long range and you want to actually see what you're shooting at,
you can definitely tell the difference.
You can tell the difference. And then just a solid setup, bevel level is not necessary, but is a big help. And then the third thing I would go for would be some sort of muzzle end attachment, whether it's a suppressor, a QD for a suppressor that you might one day own, or just a muzzle brake. This is an APA muzzle device. It's self-timing, it's easy on, easy off. So for the guys that are like, well, I don't want to use this in the woods or whatever, this is a big upgrade. Take a lot of the recoil out of it.
It's shocking how effective just that is at making the gun significantly softer.
I mean, you throw a suppressor on almost any rifle and you take, what, 30, 40% of the recoil out of it?
Yeah, and contrary to Call of Duty and stuff like that, it does not affect your accuracy like that. It will change your zero, but it's not going to make the gun less accurate.
Less accurate. Sometimes it makes the gun more accurate. Mm-hmm. You put a little weight out here, you change some harmonics in the barrel, and your 3/4 inch gun goes to a 1/4 inch gun.
Mm-hmm. What are some things we can do to make the gun significantly softer when you're behind it?
Ultimately, make it heavy. If this is a range gun, or even to the point that it's a field gun, but you're hiked to your deer stands 200 yards or a 1/4 mile. Mm-hmm. Let's be honest, we can all tote a heavy gun that far. And then the way to get there is with a stock or a chassis. If you go and upgrade your stock and chassis, it gives you a lot of options. Gedde first alluded to the length of pull. These KRG Bravo stocks are easy off on the butt pad, and you can add probably up to an inch and a half of length of pull on the back end right off the rip. You have an adjustable cheek piece, and then ultimately the ability to add weight. These are a lot more rock solid than your factory stocks. They come with this full length chassis block, bedding block, whatever you want to call it. A lot more contact for action to chassis here. And then you get a lot of modularity. On the bottom here, you can mount a arca rail. This is a lightweight arca rail from MDT, but KRG also does heavier ones. They also have these little slots here. You can add little add-on weights, M-LOK weights to your chassis. One really cool thing about this one, you have the ability to go straight to a night vision bridge right off the rip.
Now we're talking.
So slap your gun in here, you have some sort of thermal unit, clip-on thermal unit, and you're ready to rock and roll pretty quickly.
That's awesome.
The other nice things is box mags. I mean, it runs a standard AI pattern, MDT style box mag. And
that's slick looking.
It's really hard to beat.
I like that.
Yeah.
If I did take this hunting and that was required because of the property or whatever, then we're talking about a different purpose, but they also make shorter magazines for those as well.
They do make a 5-round mag for that, yes.
And then one of the other things that we find to be very important and extraordinarily useful on the range is a rear bag. So these are just WeBag, big old heavy freaking canvas bags.
Yeah.
And this thing will bury that stock into it, and it alleviates a ton of the recoil, number one. And then number two, it also alleviates how much of that scope is swaying. So if you ever see the videos of us shooting like ELR, doing extreme long range stuff, everybody's got a bag on there because it just makes the gun super duper rock solid and takes a lot of the work out of it.
Right.
So this is also going in my little upgrade package that we're putting together today.
And there's a lot of things you can do with them. Guys that struggle to shoot good groups because your gun does bounce around on the range.
Really?
Now you're not bouncing around.
That makes a lot of sense.
Little tidbit for zeroing your rifles. You have a hard time getting it to stand still if you have 2 bags or something heavy, even, wrap a jacket up, put it under your backside, and then put this here. You can keep a lot more steady base. Your face stays on the gun. You don't hop around. You don't have to find your target over and over.
Interesting.
Yeah, just a little pro tip.
That's cool. That's worth making the video right there. So I guess we talked about parts. We talked about kind of why we're doing this. So
right.
I guess we do it now.
And we do it.
So here it is, it's done. I'm stoked with how this thing came out. Andy did a great job dropping it in the new chassis. So I've still yet to shoot it. We're about to shoot it for the first time, confirm 0 before we have some fun with it. But this is what I wanted this gun to be initially when I first picked it up. So it's exciting that now I finally get to do it, but it's very cold, so we're gonna knock this out pretty quick. Okay. Going hot. Dude, this chassis is worth every penny. Yeah. This is worth every penny.
Good stuff is good, G. Good stuff is good.
Of course.
Yeah.
So let me actually get behind the gun a little bit better. Dude, it's so soft. Good news is I don't even need to touch my 0. Yep. I am happy. This is awesome. The nice thing is I can actually get behind the gun and I'm not having to shoot like this because the stock is so short. So it's incredibly soft. It's significantly easier to shoot and the return to 0 is really good. But I'm thrilled. Every penny I've invested in this gun just paid off and I'm so happy with it. If this wasn't on, you could see the big smile that I have. We walked down range to go check groups, and on my rifle, I know that barrel is good. It still has plenty of life left in it. Pete's trying to talk me into rebarreling it, which is gonna happen eventually, but I wanted to point out the group. Out of that gun, I'm shooting 175 grain SIG OTMs, which I know that gun likes because I have some data on it. But my cold bore was initially off. I called that one as being off because I was a little anxious on the gun. I think I sent it too soon. But then when I cleaned it up and I really built my position behind the gun, which kudos to this guy for teaching me how to do that, we put together 3 rounds in whatever measurement Pete's calibrated eye says that is.
So that's going to be right at about 3/8 of an inch, which is freaking spectacular. So there are 2 bullets in that same hole. So those 2 bullets are actually more overlapping than I originally gave you credit for. So if they were touching, you'd be 0.38, obviously.
Yeah.
So you give just a little bit of gap. I'd call it right at 3/8. So 3/8 out of a factory barreled action, but just by doing some peripheral upgrades of upgrading your chassis, we upgraded your trigger. Now, G's tall, he's got long arms, and his old stock looked like he was trying to shoot a midget's rifle. He's all like crowded over it.
It was rough.
But getting that rifle set up to you and to where you're truly comfortable and can just relax and feel at home with it makes such a big difference.
I'm stoked with the build. I'm excited to stretch it and kind of have some fun with it.
Heck yeah, that's a freaking spectacular group. And you know, I'll be honest, if I shot that, I'd be freaking thrilled. That's great shooting.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Very good. All right, moving on. So we have an opportunity to do something pretty cool. Before we do the rest of the shooting with this thing, we have a leftover hunk of ballistics gel from a previous video. So we're gonna hammer that thing with 308 and see what these 175 grain OTMs will do.
Dude, this is so much better. Okay, so first I'm gonna go for the big silhouette. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of wind. Sending.
Send it. Beautiful.
Little guy into the table.
All right.
Sending.
Oof, right next to it.
Was I above?
You're like off to the, like a hair to the right and above.
Sending.
There it is. You're at a good speed.
All right, moving on to the gel. Sending.
There it is.
Oh, I heard the thump.
Yeah.
Gedde, this is what you get, because the GoPro you left me with is crap, honestly.
And across. Oh, look at that.
Ooh!
Nice.
Impressive. Very nice.
That's super cool.
Yeah, look at that.
Good God, that 308 wound channel. Coming across right here. That giant layer out.
Look at that, it's split all the way over there.
Dude, that's crazy. That is a massive wound channel.
Yeah, that's very impressive. If you told me you only get one piece of glass, one thing, that's it. You give me that and any one of these rifles, like even take one of the 14.5s or something like that. Throw a 14.5 in, give me those in a backpack. And what's so cool is the menu system makes sense. It's intuitive. It took me 4 minutes to put my first profile in. Like the way you navigate it with the little arrow pads, it's not like the other rangefinders with 2 buttons and you're like, click, tick, 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 trying to figure out the secret freaking handshake on it. It just moves around and it's all intuitive. So you could have your DMR in there, your bolt gun, your 338, all your different rifles in. You just scroll over, select what profile. It reads out what profile's inside. It's freaking awesome. I've waited 6 years for those to come out.
It's been 84 years.